mechanisms. And Tex Winter, who was a real good coach and a mentor for me, used to say that you get 25% usually visually, 15% auditorily, and the other 60% you learn by doing. And so the doing, the practice, becomes a big part of it. But there's still a major part of teaching that's visual and auditorial. So we made sure that we made our players understand things verbally and understand things with diagrams, even though they may be dyslexic and may have trouble learning. Then, as I moved into a head coaching job, motivational books started to show up about personal enhancement.
Toni Kukoc, now a Bulls legend, was one of the first international players that came over to the NBA expecting significant playing time on a championship team. With Jordan announcing his retirement on the day Kukoc arrived, Toni knew he would have an opportunity to play a lot of minutes. What he didn't know was that getting that chance required going back to the classroom. Phil Jackson was the kind of coach who believed everything has to be prepared in advance. You would rarely see Jackson explaining X's and O's during a game. He was mostly setting the right tone and mentality his team needed at any given time. Toni learned that the hard way when he was coming to Chicago, as he quickly found out that Phil has requirements for anyone wanting to play. First and second year players would get an exam about our offensive and defensive systems and principles. If you didn't get all 10 answers right, there was no chance you'd be on the court. Phil's secret weapon, the triangle, is challenging for anyone who didn't run it before, so it took Toni time to catch up and earn his minutes. Phil would famously give his players books to read and inspire them, or to send them a message. When Toni arrived, Jackson pulled a little prank on him. He gave me a comic book with very little text. When I asked about it, he said, "I didn't know how good your English is, so I gave you this." But Phil didn't just give book assignments to his players only. He set the same standards to himself. In order to try and connect with Toni, Phil selected a book from his part of Europe. That book was Nadrini Čuprija by Ivo Andrić, a Croatian Nobel Prize winner for literature. Phil read the book and then gave it to Toni to read. He was surprised when I told him I had already read it, as it was mandatory reading in school. A lot of former coaches talk about the importance of building relationships with their players being equally as important as being a good strategist. With player empowerment, it's becoming the single most important skill for a head coach, getting your players to trust you and buy into the system. Phil Jackson was a master of this. He understood his player's psyche, he knew which buttons to push and when to push them. Especially when you consider that during his tenure with the Bulls, he was working with the NBA's biggest egos. But that's what makes Phil Jackson the greatest superstar whisperer in NBA history, the one and only Zen Master.
If you enjoyed this video, please leave it a like and consider subscribing to our YouTube channel for more great basketball content. Thank you for watching.